Hey guys, welcome to Stacking the Shelves Showcase Sunday and Mailbox Monday for the weekend of November 22nd. I'm going to apologize. I'm a little bit on after all this morning. I'm about to go down and go running, so, whatever. I have to take a shower afterwards, so I haven't really done anything. My hair, my face, whatever. Anyways, I got a lot. This is kind of my books for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And a lot of them are from the library because I have a lot of books I've been putting on hold at the library. And then as the library gets them in, they email me and are like, oh, here's your book. So I did get one book for review, however. That was Dearest by Althea Contis. And this is the third book in the Woodcutter's Daughters series. And these have all been fairy tale retellings about the different daughters. And there's 7 daughters. And I actually don't remember which daughter this one's about. But this comes out in March, and so it's got a little bit, it's February, mid-February. It comes out mid-February, so there's a little bit of time before it's going to come out. Anyways, I like the cover. These have all been very good fairy tale retellings. They're a little bit different. The stories don't necessarily play out how you would expect, so it's been kind of fun. I did get bought, and I'll say that in quote marks because both of these were free. I'm trying to keep the books on my lap, and there's a huge stack of them. But anyways, the first one I bought audiobook is Mitosis by Brandon Sanderson. This is a Reckoner's short story, so this takes place between Steelheart and I think the one after is called Fireborn or Firefight. So this takes place between those 2 books. It's a novella. It was on audiobook and it's free. So I got that to listen to. And then I did buy a book for Kindle. Again, this was free this week on Kindle. And it's one I've had on my wish list for a while. It's All the Paths of Shadow by Frank Tuttle. Frank Tuttle self-publishes a lot. And somehow I got a couple of his fantasy books at one point to read. And I really enjoyed them. So I'm really hoping I like this. It's supposed to be a steampunk, historical fantasy type of thing. So that'll be fun to read. Alright, so then we'll get to the books I swapped. I also swapped quite a few books for Paperback Swap. And again, these are ones I have on my wish list at Paperback Swap. So I get them when one finally gets posted to the system. The first one I got is Please Ignore Veredicts by A.S. King. This is one of the few A.S. King books I have not read. So I always like A.S. King. She writes very different stuff and she's kind of all over the map. Most of it's contemporary fiction with a little bit of magical realism in it. So anyways, I'm excited to read this. It's one of the few A.S. King books I haven't read. And then I got Under My Hat, Tales from the Cauldron. This is an anthology of fantasy stories, and it's got a lot of really famous authors in it. There's Garth Nix, Tanith Lee, Holly Black, Jim Butcher, Neil Gaiman, Charles Lee Lynch, Jan Yolen, Tim Pratt, Margot Lanigan, Peter S. Beagle, Alan Klages, Patricia Phillip, Diana Peterfriend. So lots of very famous authors contributed to this. And that's the main reason I got it, is just because it had a lot of fantasy authors I like, and every once in a while it's kind of fun to read an anthology of short stories. And the last one I swapped through Paper Swap, and this one looks nothing like it did on the website. I don't know. It's just a completely different cover and stuff, but it's got the same ISBN, so I can't complain. It's We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson, and I don't know much about this except for I remember reading the synopsis. This has been on my wish list a really long time. I read the synopsis a long time ago and it sounded really interesting, and I know it's about a family that's trapped in this estate and there's poisoning and murder and mayhem going on. So anyways, it's supposed to be a good book. I'm excited to read it. Alright, so I got a lot of books from the library and whatever. I'm not sure if I'll get through them all before I have to return them, but I'll make an effort. The first one I got from the library is My Lady Quicksilver by Beck McMaster. This is the 3rd book in the London Steampunk series. I just finished Heart of Iron last week, and I posted a review for that last week, I believe. These have been fun. They're a little bit more romancy than I normally like, but to be honest, as we get going into the holiday season, I don't mind reading more romance just because you don't think as much, and it's lighter and quicker and fun, and you just read through them, and there's a lot of other stuff going on, so I don't necessarily want to read a lot of books that I really have to like concentrate and focus on. So anyways, this is another book in the London Steampunk series. These are all steampunk books. This one is about it sounds like a thief named Mercury, who nickname is Mercury, and then the captain of the Night Hawk Guard, whose name I am blanking on, but you meet him in like the last book. So anyways, I'm excited to read that. And then I got the 4th book in the London Steampunk series, and this is Forged by Desire, and this tells the story of Garrett, Reed, and Perry. So I think that'll be fun to read as well. I accidentally actually requested this from the library and then realized it was the 4th book in the series, and then went back and got the 3rd. That's why I have them both. One I had on hold for quite a while, took the library a while to get it in, is Black Spring by Christina Henry. This is the final novel in the Madeline Black urban fantasy series. I know this hasn't been a really popular urban fantasy series, but I've actually really liked it, and it's about... It gets complicated, of course, because this is pretty far into the series. I think this is like the 6th book or something like that. Let me see if it's in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7th book in the series. But Maddie Black used to go like collect people's souls or whatever, and then she found out she's the daughter of Lucifer and all this other stuff. So anyways, it's been really good. I like the there's like gargoyles in it, and angels and demons and all that kind of stuff. So I've enjoyed it. It's one of the urban fantasy series that really isn't that popular, but for some reason I enjoy reading it, so I keep reading it. One I got that I'm very excited to read is I got Tallinn by Julie Kagawa, and I apologize, the glare on this is horrible. It's a very shiny cover. Tallinn by Julie Kagawa. All I know is I like everything she writes, and this is about dragons, so whatever. It's a young adult fantasy novel, and hopefully it'll be good. The reviews I've seen for it have been fairly mixed online, so I'll have to just read it and see what I think about it. So that should be a fun one. One I got from the library that was kind of random is Hansel and Gretel by Neil Gaiman and Lorenzo Matati. And I read everything by Neil Gaiman, and I had not seen this before. The library actually will email me and let me know when books come in that are like from authors that I like. And they said they had just gotten this in, and I was like, oh, what is that? So it looks like it's mainly pictures. I don't even know if there's writing inside of it. I haven't really looked. So I'll probably look through that today and have a review posted on that next week. And the final book I got from the library is In the Afterlight by Alexander Bracken. This is the final book in the Darkest Minds trilogy. This has been an interesting series for me. It's a dystopian young adult series, or science fiction. They have it labeled as library. But I never want to read these books, but then when I read them, I really like them. And I don't know if that makes any sense. They're really long. But they never feel long while I'm reading them. But I get them and I'm like, oh God, that book's so long. It's another young adult dystopia. I don't want to read it. And then I read it and I'm like, oh, I love that book. So this is the 3rd book in that series. And I'm very excited to see how everything wraps up. But again, I'm like, I haven't read it yet because, well, I just got it from the library a few days ago. But I don't know. It's just one of those ones. Like, I'm like, oh, it's going to take forever to read. But I probably will like it a lot. So I'm very excited to see how that's going to wrap up the whole series. All right, so that is what I got this week. It ended up being about 12 books. If you're watching this on my blog, you can look down and click on the book pictures. It'll take you to Goodreads. You can read a synopsis or whatever. And books are falling off my chair. Other than that, it has been a couple weeks. Last week was pretty hectic for us here in Minnesota because we got quite a bit of snow. I think it was last week. I don't know. They all start to blur together. But we got quite a bit of snow last Monday. Not a ton. It was like 4 to 6 inches, but then it got really cold. So like, not really cold. It got down to like the single digits, which isn't like -30 or anything, but it was cold considering it had been in the 40s and 50s the week before, and everybody was like, whoa, what happened? So our lake is frozen. We got snow everywhere. We've got ice all over the side roads because when you have snow and it gets that cold that quick, they never have a chance to clear off before everything just freezes into like a mat of ice that thick. So that's been making life exciting. Commutes have been pretty awful, and I have a very long drive into work. So all that being said, I did not do videos for the last couple weeks. I've just been trying to keep up with the rest of the world. So Anyways, I hope you guys got some great books this week and that you had a great week of reading. And I will talk to you, I probably won't talk to you next week, but maybe the week after, because next week is Thanksgiving and we have a lot of stuff we do the Friday after Thanksgiving. So I usually record these videos either Friday or Saturday, and I will be incredibly busy over Thanksgiving weekend. But the weekend after, I probably won't be as busy, so I will be coming back and talking to you then. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.